Hi, my name is James Hall, and today you're going to learn how a simple and ingenious device saved 6 lives during a monstrous Wisconsin flash blizzard and turned the tide against the corporate fat cats once and for all. And it wasn't just our lives it saved, but also that of 43,141 hardworking Americans who are now living a better life with a lot more money in their pockets, free from the monopolist shackles that had been sucking them dry for decades. Now, I know you'll think you've heard this before, and your BS senses are going off. But what I'm talking about, it's not a closely guarded secret or an unseen gadget made by some forgotten genius inventor. It's actually something simple that thousands of people use, but in an inefficient and expensive way. Done the right way, it can cut a whopping 70% off your electricity bills overnight. That's a savings of over $2,000 annually. Plus, it's lightweight and portable, so you can take it with you if, God forbid, you ever have to leave the comfort of your home. Simply toss it in the trunk and hit the road. And no, you won't need to take out another mortgage to get it. In fact, you can have your own up and running in under 30 minutes with just a handful of change. A handful of change that will turn to gold the moment you plug it in. Whether you use it to cut down on bills or have it as a backup generator, this will literally be worth its weight in gold and more because it saved our lives during a freak blizzard. 6 people are alive today thanks to this amazing device. And you've probably seen on the news the raw fury Mother Nature unravels during the icy Wisconsin winters. Or perhaps you have lived through it yourself. No matter how you look at it, it's not something you can take lightly, and almost always catches you off guard. I've seen with my own eyes how a bright sunny sky darkens in mere moments. Temperatures drop by 30, and 4 feet of snow render 21st century technology obsolete, plunging everyone back into the dark ages. In a matter of hours, because that's where we'd be without light and warmth. All the money in the world won't save you. No government will shield you. Odds are, when disaster strikes, 99% you'll have to face it alone. So, only one thing can make the difference between starvation and nourishment, between freezing and staying warm, between light and darkness. And that is being prepared. And given today's response time in disaster situations, you might find yourself shivering, whether inside or outside, or even worse, for up to a week. Remember how fast action was taken during the Katrina disaster or the 2011 blackout? I think they're still hauling aids and supplies there, oblivious to the fact that 12 years have already passed. And I'm not even going to mention the pandemic. We all saw and heard and felt it on our own skin. So who can you rely on? The government or yourself? I lost the bet on the government once, and 6 people nearly lost their lives. Only a simple gadget made the difference between life and death. And in light of the more recent events we've been thrown into, I think it's something that each and every one of us should have. Because no matter where you live, north, south, east, or west, Mother Nature always has a trick up her sleeve that can flip your world upside down. Tornadoes, hurricanes, blizzards, floods, you name it. And government officials will merely stand by, dumbfounded, or God forbid, count the bodies on live TV. Imagine the toughest, coldest winter, 4 feet of snow stretching as far as your eyes can see. You get through it somehow. But when spring comes, you won't be happy and joyful like you see in the movies. Because all that snow will melt, and flash floods will be pounding on your doorstep. You must be prepared at all times. So I think it's time everybody started caring for themselves. And I'm not talking about massive stockpiles and mountains of supplies. Sure, that's an option. But actually, all you need is a well-equipped and stocked kitchen, a reliable heater or AC unit, and off-grid electricity. This is something that can mean the difference between life and death for you and your loved ones. 6 people are still here today to share their story, and 43,741 hardworking patriots are now having the last laugh as the Big E foots the bill. Actually, here's what a few of my dear friends had to say about it.
At first, I was a bit skeptic when it came to solar. I thought it was too expensive. but my wife pushed me to give your system a try. I'm glad I did because it works just like you said it would. Thank you.
Clean-cut video guides. Haven't seen anything like this in a while. I got everything I needed from the first trip to the store. That's what I hate most. Second trips for supplies and parts. Thankfully, this wasn't the case. I slashed my bill by 52% and couldn't be prouder. Big thanks from Boston.
So stick with me for a few moments and I'll reveal all the crucial details you need to know. As I said, my name is James Hall. I'm a 52YO mechanic from Milwaukee, happily married for 27 years and proud father of 2 wonderful daughters. The story I'm about to share started 2 years ago on a brisk October afternoon. I was raking leaves in my backyard when I saw my wife slamming the back door and running towards me. I instantly knew something was wrong. Honey, your father, he's dead. For a moment I was paralyzed, stunned. It had to be a mistake. I had just spoken to him a few hours prior. But tragically, it wasn't a mistake. God, how I wish it was. He felt he couldn't breathe, so he called the ambulance, unlocked the door, and lay on the bed, waiting. And that's how they found him 40 minutes later. The paramedics tried their best, but it was too late. He was pronounced dead on the spot. We were all devastated. Yet we had to confront the reality and try and move on. What's worse, foreclosure notices started pouring in from the bank. We couldn't settle his debt. So we agreed on selling his cherished mountain cabin where he lived. I talked to the girls and planned a last farewell trip to the cabin before selling it. It was late November, but the sun was still a bit warm, so we didn't pack heavy clothes. After all, it was merely a weekend getaway. We arrived in the evening, lit up the fireplace, made a few sandwiches, and started talking. Remembering all the beautiful times we had there, sadly thinking it was all over. As the hours slipped by, we didn't notice that it had started snowing outside. When we eventually did, my first thought was, we're stuck here. But then again, it was only November. How hard can it possibly snow? By 10 p.m., the ground was under 2 feet of snow. By 11:30 was 3 feet, and anxiety began to creep in. I had winter tires on my truck, but they were no match for this. I checked the fridge in the kitchen. There was still some food left. We had enough firewood for the night. The power was still on, so we thought we'll wait it out. At 12:15, there was frantic knocking on the door. A man stood there, holding a boy in his arms. His cheeks were bluish. He wasn't moving. I rushed them inside near the fireplace, wrapped them in blankets, and made hot tea. After a few minutes, the little boy started waking up. The man, Andy, explained that they had nearly frozen after their car got stuck in the snow. They actually lived not far from our cabin, but it was so dark and the blizzard was so violent, they couldn't find their way home. After wandering for 2 hours in the white storm, he saw our lights and realized they were saved. He told us he hasn't seen any lights for miles, and that was odd, because there were lots of cabins and houses nearby. 3 hours later, we got an unexpected visit from one of our neighbors. He brought his family over after seeing we had electricity, hoping we could charge his daughter's inhaler. They told me the power was out since 9 p.m., but we still had the lights on. And then it struck me. We were the only ones with power. But why? And how? I hadn't done anything special. The wiring was the same, and we were connected to the same grid. Something must be powering up the house. I searched the house, the rooms, the basement. Nothing. Then I went and searched the shed, but found nothing except 6 dusty toolboxes and a ping-pong table. It was cold, so I left it like that. Meanwhile, the little boy was joyfully back on his feet and started playing with my daughters. We all got through the night okay, a bit scared of what was going on outside, but safe and warm in my father's cozy cabin. In the morning, my curiosity got the better of me, trying to figure out what kept the lights on. So I inspected the cabin and the shed again. This time, I noticed a flickering light inside one of the toolboxes. I opened it and realized what saved our lives. My father's preparedness like a helping hand beyond the grave. A secret power bank. Each and every toolbox was a power source of its own. 3 were depleted, 3 were at 80%. But what charged them? I was puzzled by the ping pong table in the shed because I didn't think my father played. And to my surprise, it wasn't a table at all, but a foldable array of compact solar panels, unlike any I had seen before. I spent 4 hours in the shed trying to figure out how 2 small panels could charge the entire bank, and how 3 batteries of that size could power an entire cabin for 16 hours straight. Well, I had enough time to study the contraption, because snowplows were nowhere in sight. Actually, we had to venture out for water and firewood in the afternoon, to be prepared just in case we had to spend another night there. And we were right. No one showed up. We still had power through the second night, although we had to cut down on the big screen TV, not knowing if we were going to spend a third one up there. Help only came the third day, with the usual hassle, like the Gov was doing us a favor. After waiting for 48 hours, what if we didn't have electricity, or food, or supplies, or even worse? What if we were stranded like Andy in his car in the middle of nowhere? Who would have helped us then? No one. And that's what my father in all his years understood best. You have to be prepared. You have to be able to help yourself and those around you, because sitting and waiting for miracles from FEMA will get you killed. I took his notes with me and studied the plans for his solar panel system. Somehow it produced way more AC than expected for its size. But what I finally discovered was that the secret laid in storage and charging times. He tweaked it to give almost double the power at only half the charge time. That was the lifesaver. Anyone can get solar panels up on the house or in their yard. But how long does a single charge last? How much does a normal system cost? Not to mention maintenance, snow, and all the space they take. Or even worse, putting your health and safety at risk by hanging them on the house and climbing up there to clean them. It's a nightmare when winter comes, high winds, or when a sudden hailstorm hits. That's where my father changed the rules of the game. It took me almost a year to piece everything together and build a system for my house, which is only 1,500 SQFT. I never thought I'd go solar, but with my father's help, I managed to do it in just 20 SQFT. And if I need the extra space, I just fold them and put them in the garage. No worries, no maintenance, no headaches. It cost me a little over $200, $204.68 to be more precise, to build the first unit. And results came pounding hard the very next day. The meter was barely moving, and it reflected directly into the bill, 68% off in the first month. I did my best to cut even more, but on the scale I billed it, just wasn't possible. As I said, this is not a BS conspiracy cloak device. There are limits. Anyway, I think I did well, and the cost of $200 was money well spent. I recouped it in 3 months just by cutting off the bill, and now I'm $13.69 or $30 on profit. But if you really want to stick it to the electric monopolists, with just a small increase in scale, you can make that wretched meter run backwards and start making them pay you for the excess current you feed to the grid. Imagine getting your bill. Your hands shake while you open the envelope. And yes, it's exactly what you've been expecting. The amount is negative. This is not fiction. These are true facts. Personal accounts of some of my closest friends. This brilliant solution can work anywhere to power everything from small radios to big refrigerators, big screen TVs, computers, or even houses. It's perfect to use in any situation, especially in disaster situations when all the power lines are down and you need to preserve food or cook. As I mentioned, 6 people survived thanks to this. It won't take half the yard to assemble, only a couple of SQFT, and you can just fold the panels and put them in the garage whenever you want. But it's so powerful that it can instantly reduce your electricity bill by 68%, even if you pay $250 a month. And you can find parts at any local shop or online. Not only that, but the batteries don't have to be new. My father bought 6 used batteries from a garage sale for almost nothing. But there's a catch. The internet is flooded with solar panel DIY guides. But they require a minimum investment of $2,000. And that's a lot of money. but no one will teach you how to do it for under $200. Not because they don't want to, but because they just don't know. But all that was until my father came up with a way. He got his idea from the most common battery we all use, one that lasts 5 to 8 years and is recharged thousands of times, no matter how cold or hot it gets outside. The car battery. It's simple to find used ones. In fact, you may have a couple yourself laying around the garage. It has easy maintenance, revives after total drain, and has enough amps to weld iron. And with a well-tuned charge controller, it will never let you down. 2 or 3 of these babies can boost any electricity source by 5 times. Instantly. Permanently. And apart from taking the panels out once in a while to charge them, they won't need any maintenance for at least 5 years. That means that if you make 68% more electricity, you'll only pay 32% of your current bills. Here's the shocking proof that anyone can do it and install their own device at home. The good news is that there's absolutely no risk with this system. Anyone can have their own money-saving device properly installed in under 4 hours, and it will cut your electricity bill by at least 68% starting today. This clever system can be made for under $200. And as I mentioned, you can find most of the components at any local store, garage, or online. And if you follow the videos I've prepared for you, which show exactly how to build this amazing device, even your kid can build one by day's end. You don't need to be an electrician. Heck, you don't even need energy knowledge. But there's a catch here too. Everything that you're about to learn today about building your own device is dumb simple, but only if you know how to do it right. As I said, it took me almost a year to understand my father's design and develop a simplified way to build the system. My father figured it out through trial and error, so you can imagine how his plans looked like. But after all the hard work, the Solar Safe was born. Once you have the Solar Safe installed in your home, you'll instantly be able to save at least 68% on electricity, some even reported up to 120% by scaling it up, without spending months building 1,000 SQFT of solar panels, risking yourself by placing them on the roof, and spending thousands of dollars in the process. You'll be able to take this little device anywhere. It's so small that it fits in your trunk for camping trips. One battery charge will give you 18 to 20 hours of free electricity, works everywhere, and charges even when it's cloudy. You'll be able to power any household appliances, from lamps and toasters to AC units, anytime, anywhere, totally legal, without spending a fortune. And even if the SHTF, you'll still be able to have enough electricity for cooking and preserving your food, while others will beg for a loaf of rotten bread. This little device is very light and portable, perfect for natural disasters, and more. There's no maintenance whatsoever. Maybe just cleaning the panels and removing dust from the boxes every 6 months. It's quiet, easy to hide from a nosy neighbor or from looters during emergencies. It saved my life and the ones around me during that dreaded Wisconsin blizzard. Andy, who still visits us frequently with his son, also built a unit a couple of months ago, and results started pouring in. He called me happy as a clam last month to tell me all about his microscopic power bill. More and more people are discovering the joy and peace that comes with off-grid electricity. Here's what 2 close friends have to say about it. James, I'm 71, and I've been exploring reliable and affordable alternative energy options for almost 30 years. The one thing I couldn't come to terms with is the cost of a solar panel array. $16K has always been out of reach. I'm glad I found out about your father's designs. God bless his soul. Happy days. Joshua L. Mill Creek. My kids love their new backyard swing. I saved almost $300 in the past 4 months, and I finally had the money to make their wish come true. I did spend $22 more than the $200 you mentioned, but only because I had nothing usable at home and had to buy new. I hope more people learn about this. Thanks. Alex D. Cedar Falls, Iowa. The way I see it, you need the Solar Safe almost as much as you need air. With energy prices soaring and energy corporations getting even greedier, you're left with bills of $100, $200, or even $350. every month. Meanwhile, you could be paying less than 20% of the energy you're using, or even go off-grid with a simple scaling trick. It's like the power companies are paying you back 68% or more of your electricity bill every week. Plus, why shouldn't you take advantage of this? Since it takes less than $200 to have your own portable power plant ready. That's less than a month's bill most of us pay to the greedy bastards. And have it up and running in under 4 hours. Especially when you have the complete videos that will guide you how to build your own unit. Quick and safely. That's right. I'm about to share all the videos where I'll teach you how to build your own unit by the end of the day, even if you don't have a screwdriver at home. There are no maintenance costs, or breakdowns, bird droppings, noise, or any other worries. And the easy-to-use, no-maintenance solar-safe system can provide you with another huge advantage. It gives you crucial time to do more important things in a crisis. While others will be busy dumpster diving for food, your miniature power plant takes care of itself. You'll have more time to protect your family, to learn a valuable skill you can barter with, or to be the Rick Grimes of your community. However, there's one downside. I don't know how long I can keep this website up, because I'm already receiving email threats from power companies and solar panel industry oligarchs demanding I take it down. My father definitely angered a lot of people. So if you want a dumb, simple, safe device that costs less than a month's bill to build with materials that you can find anywhere, even if you're not an electrician, a silent device that you won't even hear running, and that is practical and efficient with almost zero maintenance, that will reduce your electricity bill by at least 68% starting today. Now is the perfect time. It's a disaster-proof, recession-proof, drought-proof personal power plant that will give you all the money-saving comfort you and your family need and deserve. It's a step-by-step, newbie-friendly program that will take you by the hand and turn the lights on in as little as 4 hours from now. So you can slash your power bill almost immediately without investing thousands of dollars in overpriced monopoly-controlled systems. But most of all, it will give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing that, should anything happen, from a mere broken power line to a nationwide blackout, or worse, your family won't be at the mercy of others. The Solar Safe program is jam-packed with all the knowledge you need to have super success with solar energy. Not in years of trial and error, but in as little as a day. But you need to move fast on this one, because we simply don't know for how long this website is going to stay up. The first time people heard about the Solar Safe, things turned out really bad for me, and we fear it might happen again. But still, we want to get this into as many homes as possible. Solar panel technology has already revolutionized the modern world, and it can do it again. This time in a cost-effective way, right in your backyard. People need to hear about this amazing device, so they can break free from big energy and stop paying for electricity that should be freely available to everyone. So here's the deal. The Solar Safe is available digitally, as videos that you can watch, rewatch, or download as many times as you like. You could be rewatching them just 5 minutes from now and cut your electricity bill by 68% or more by the end of the day. I'm very serious about this. You'll save hundreds of dollars each month and thousands each year. And there will be no need to fork out at least $20,000 on a traditional solar panel system that pays for itself in 10 long years. Oh, and there's more. If you order the Solar Safe program today, you'll also get a few exclusive bonuses that will later be off the table if you put this off. First, you will get the EMP Safeguard. It's a special report that puts Solar Safe on overdrive and turns it into a foolproof, disaster-proof, and EMP-proof off-grid power source for any impending emergency. It's more than a power plant. With this special protection system, your family will have electricity, even if, God forbid, an all-out EMP or natural disaster takes out the grid for months on end, so you'll never be in the dark in a crisis situation. Bonus 1. Second, you will get the Solar Safe Power Reserve. This radical report will help you store the excess power the Solar Safe system will be putting out. So none of that valuable power juice goes to waste. You will find out what are the best methods to do so and what types of batteries to use. how to revive old ones, and how to make ones from scraps laying around your house or, in some cases, forgotten in your garage. Bonus 2. And third, you will get Smart Secrets, Nature's Energy Sources. This special report lists the absolute essentials that many so-called energy enthusiasts never even consider, and you'll get it for free when you test the Solar Safe. Bonus 3. But before I tell you how you can do that, let me ask you this. How much is it worth to you to permanently save 68% on your electricity bills? How much is $2,000 worth to you right now? Because that's what you could be saving in the first year alone. Money that otherwise would be headed down that Spartan bottomless pit the power execs call their pockets. And how much is it worth it to you to know your family will stay healthy, happy, and well-fed, whatever might be heading our way? And to know they won't have to go through the agony of freezing cold and starvation like everyone else? If this power system helps you plug the deadly leaks in your bank account, if it helps you put food on your kids' table when the world outside is on fire, if it finally gives you the peace of mind you deserve, knowing that you've done everything to keep your family alive in the coming blackout, how much would that be worth? I could easily take this material, turn it into an exclusive weekend seminar, and charge $1,000 a seat. With so many rich green energy enthusiasts out there, I know it would be a no-brainer to many. But frankly, I'm a bit tired of seeing these rich guys on TV with their million-dollar setups and off-grid systems. They've already got more toys than they need. Solar Safe was born from the idea that energy independence should be something everyone can afford, because the more self-reliant families there will be in America, the easier it's going to be to rebuild it to what it once was. So I won't ask you to invest $1,000 for this secret, even though I know it's worth at least that. It won't cost you $500. My father couldn't have afforded that. The whole reason I'm even charging anything is to keep the website running for as long as possible. Yet the Solar Safe blueprints and video guides won't cost you $500, not even $250, though they would be worth every penny at this price. I'm going to set the price of Solar Safe at just $39. But the only way to secure your spot in the program is to click the Order Now button below. I can't guarantee that I can keep this price for longer, especially since we're giving 12 months of unlimited email support. So don't get mad if you come here in a few days and see that the price has gone back up. Today, only $39, I repeat, $39 only. And really, the price doesn't even matter. That's because you're covered by my ironclad, no questions asked money-back guarantee for 60 full days. Here's how this works. Get your copy now. Try it out for a full 60 days. And if for some reason you're not satisfied, you don't see that damn meter stop, or whatever reason you may have, you don't have to tell me. Just write me a few lines on your private support page, and I'll refund you even if it's the 24th hour of the 60th day. But because you're getting here early, if you act right now, I'll let you have the Solar Safe Vide guides and blueprints, plus the 3 bonuses, plus the list of tools and supplies for only $39. That's probably less than half of what you're paying each month on electricity. And you can recoup that investment in as little as 10 days. Getting the videos and blueprints for the Solar Safe is easy. Just click the big, shiny Order Now button that just appeared below, and you'll be taken to our secure order page.